Um, my name is Sam Seitz. I'll be interviewing Tammy. John will be observing. So this is role play number 4. So Tammy, I see that your family brought you in today. Can you kind of tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I've been having some thoughts that are abnormal or I shouldn't be having.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about them?
I just get to feeling like I worry a little bit too much sometimes
Okay.
about just anything that's happening.
Okay, so nothing really specific.
Maybe they say I'm a little paranoid than usual.
Okay. Was there a recent incident that happened that kind of made them decide that you should talk to me, or did you ask them to bring you in?
Oh, it was something that happened the other day. I let the kids go with their dad, and I called I called them probably about 20 times
Okay,
just to check on them.
just a checkup. And that's not typically normal for you?
Hmm.
Okay,
No, I usually don't do that.
okay. So then, when you would call, how was it responded to?
Oh, at first it was, hi mom, yeah, we're okay. And as I called more often, they felt a little, they were kind of getting irritated with me calling so often.
Mhm.
So it didn't work out well after probably the 10th call, but I still continued to call.
I can see that. Um, has something happened that make you maybe not trust the situation the kids are in, or anything that kind of led up to that?
That's what I really don't understand. Um,
Okay.
I don't know why I'm paranoid. Their dad's a good father.
Okay. So you said you're kind of worrying about anything. Is there anything else that's kind of been going on besides the calls? Anything else that's happened?
Um, they got a lot of responsibility. That might be another reason why I call them so often. They're out during the ranching and they drive. They've been driving since they were 5. So
Wow.
it seems like that would be the that would be the lesser worry of mine since they've been driving so often. But anything can
Mhm.
happen.
Mhm. So you're thinking maybe it was because of the hazards on the ranch?
That that might be more of my concern of why I call so often, just to see if they were okay.
Okay. I can see your point there. Do you think that maybe 20 times though was too much?
Yeah, that's a little bit too much.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I shouldn't call them that often.
You mentioned paranoid thoughts. So you said the worry, and then you said paranoid thoughts. What can you tell me about the paranoid thoughts?
Um, just paranoid about what might or can happen. I maybe tend to think the worst of things, which I really shouldn't, or I really have no reason to.
Mhm. How long would you say that you've been feeling this way?
Um, I felt paranoid, or maybe it wasn't really paranoid, just kind of a little worried
Mhm.
for the last maybe 5 years since the kids start having more responsibility of chores and duties they have been given.
Okay, well, how old are your kids now?
They're 14 and 13.
14 and 13. So, middle school age?
One's seventh and one's a freshman in high school.
Okay. So then, outside of the ranch, if they were to go out with friends or anything now, do you notice those feelings still there?
No, I don't. They're not there. Whenever I know they're probably basically doing ranch work. It's just a dangerous occupation, you know. Um,
Yeah, I completely can see your concerns for their safety. Um, I guess, do you feel that when you call them that it interferes with their ranch work? Do you feel like it's taking them longer to do something or increases other risk?
that might happen. The cell phone ringing if they're on the horse and the horse spooks, that might cause an accident.
Mhm. Mhm. So is there a better system maybe we can try and create for you to feel a little more at peace when your kids are out there, but yet to help you know that they're okay?
I always tell them to call me. They never
Mhm.
do.
Mhm. Do they call you?
And maybe no, they never call me, but if they're coming home or if they want me to go out and help them do something,
Mhm.
they'll call me and they'll ask me, and I'm more willing to go out and do something. Or when they're home, I'm always home, or when they're coming home. So having them call me at least in the morning and say, "Hey, mom, we're going out to go do this. We'll check
Mhm.
in when we get done." That might take some of their paranoid thoughts away.
Mhm. So you keep referring to them as paranoid thoughts. So, um, do you feel like it's actual, like a paranoid, like maybe what you're thinking of isn't actually real or true, or do you feel like more of it's anxiety, the building up to the what could happen, what might happen, or what should have happened?
I'm thinking it's more of what could happen. So
Okay.
maybe actually it isn't paranoid thoughts, it's more anxiety,
Mhm.
feelings.
So then, when you have these anxious feelings and thoughts, does it put a stop to anything you're doing for the day, or does it kind of interfere with stuff you have to do, such as work if you work, or stuff around the house, or?
Yeah, actually does.
Mhm.
It, like if I have to read and I'm trying to read and I haven't talked to the kids for 4 hours, I can't focus.
Mhm. Okay, so you kind of lose focus. Anything else you've noticed? What about like sleep or appetite?
Um, Usually my sleep isn't interfered because I don't sleep during the day, but I do actually talk to them before I go to bed. So I know they're
Okay.
safe, which is in the
Okay.
end, I know they were.
Mhm. It's just during the day when you're awake and you're knowing they're out there, but you haven't heard from them or you're not able to get a hold of them. Situations like that kind of create that feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about your appetite? Do you feel like when you're anxious, is your appetite healthy? Is it there? Is it too much? What do you notice?
I don't think it affects my appetite.
Okay.
I eat when I'm hungry and when it's time to eat.
So mainly it is just your ability to focus and do what you're supposed to do throughout your day.
Sometimes.
Okay. Um, have you ever, or do you feel like you have like any coping skills to help you with that anxiety, to get you kind of through those anxious feelings until you hear from them next, or is that something you may need help trying to build and identify?
Um, as I've gotten older, I think I've gotten better.
Okay.
I am more aware of I'm more aware of well, my anxiety when they're out there and I don't talk to them, but knowing that they're competent in the areas of what they're doing, so that kind of
Mm-hmm.
helps me feel a little better.
Okay. So just knowing that they know what they're doing helps you feel better. Um, are there
Hmm.
other ways to kind of help you relax or to find peace when you are feeling anxious? Um,
I go outside and do some yard work. As long as I'm keeping busy, my mind isn't focused on what they're doing or why they
yeah,
haven't called.
yeah. So you try and keep busy, find something to do. You said outside's kind of better for you. So, what about like a breathing technique or mindfulness exercise? Have you heard anything about those?
What would mindfulness be?
Um, Mindfulness is learning ways of focusing on like the here and the now, the kind of one thing at a time, the small picture that then builds up to a bigger picture. So you said you lose focus sometimes when you become anxious and it stops you from maybe doing something or hard to complete what you're doing. So maybe it's washing dishes, and mindfulness would basically would be that you focus on doing one dish at a time. So you focus on the one task, and before you know it, you'll be moving to the next dish, and then before you know it, you'll be done with the dishes. So it's just being in the here and the now, and not worrying about the future or the past.
That sounds like a technique or a skill that I could probably start practicing
Yeah, and
because
if it's
I think it is the future.
mhm
I think it is the future where I just worry. I mean,
mhm
and I shouldn't worry about the future.
mhm. But that's actually fairly common with anxiety, that you're just kind of more concerned with what could happen and not so much as to what's going on right now. So if mindfulness is
Okay.
something that you're interested in, I would really encourage to maybe look into it. to a DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. That kind of goes on to life skills. And mindfulness is one of the main characteristics of DBT as it's referred to. It's something that we offer here in a group setting, and so there's about 8 individuals, and it just kind of meets once a week, and we kind of explore stresses in each other's lives and apply skills, life skills that can help us process it in a healthy manner, and then build them to practice and exercise outside into our daily life to help us with the anxiety or other conflicts.
That would be wonderful to not feel as anxious as I
Mm-hmm.
have been. So maybe it might be something that I can utilize.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to give you more information on that as well. Um, Also, many people who do have anxiety issues work with a physician for medication services, and that's a completely voluntary act if you choose to do so. But if is it something to maybe help with the anxiety, whether it's like with asthma, if it's a sudden attack, if you've ever noticed anything like that, um, they have like a PRN, take as needed available, or there's just daily medications or herbal remedies or teas even, just to kind of help calm our nerves, I guess is what they'd say.
Hmm.
So, and if that's something
Yeah,
you
I
ever
don't think I have any. Yeah, I don't have any kind of physical symptoms that bother me or kind of affect me.
feel
It's just
good.
the worrying thoughts. So maybe more of the behavior,
Okay. Well, yeah,
learning
I'd
how
be
to
happy.
deal with it.
I would be very happy to help you get enrolled in group, and like I said, it's like an open door group, so it's open to people who want to participate, and then once group completes, you can come back again. So however many times you want to go through it, it's kind of good because it provides information and support. So I'd be happy to get you the information, and I've hoped that I've been able to help you today. So. Do you feel any better now that we've talked?
I do feel better, and I'm anxious to start going to the groups
Well, good. Well,
so I can feel better.
I'm happy that you are excited for this and are looking forward to feeling better about yourself and about getting through your day when you're not sure what all your kids are up to out on the ranch.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty, nice job. Um, Sam, you did an excellent job with the reflection. I was doing tally marks here, and several times you reflected back on um, things that she was expressing. Uh, you definitely shared your understanding with it. Made it clear that I understand where you're coming from, or I understand the situation. So it made it very personal. Um, what else did I have here? I just started to write down that you need to give her more information or your offer information, and then all of a sudden you started giving all kinds of information. So you did a very good job of information, offering her the class and any
Okay.
materials, all that stuff. So it wasn't like you found out the problem and yep, that's what you got. You offered a solution or a goal to work with
Mm-hmm.
there. Um, I also really liked how you identified was she experiencing anxiety or paranoia. Bringing up that it was paranoia all the time, but it simply could have just been anxiety. So I'm sure in future sessions you could explore the difference there, but not
Okay.
not ignore that it could be paranoia.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have found is that you ask questions with do, which, according to our text, or when you say, do you want to do this, it can be a closed-ended question, which if you have a
Yeah.
difficult client, they'll say yes or no. Tammy was very willing to answer every single one of those do questions, but almost half your questions were do this, do you want to do this, do that,
Okay.
yeah, that's the only thing that I found wrong. I thought it was a great job.
I will make note of that.
So we've used so quite a bit, and now we've used do quite a bit.
Do. No.
Yeah, but it was noticeable that you were asking those every question was with do you, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Something I noticed.
No, that makes sense. I mean, it definitely can be, I guess, translated to a yes or no question. Do, well, yes, or well, no.
Right, and maybe you can use those type of questions when you have a client that's open and talkative. Maybe it's not bad. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I know that if you had a client that was difficult, they probably would have answered with a lot of yes and no's, and maybe you would have changed your preface to those questions. But I don't know. Trying to give you something to grow with, I guess, or build on.
Yeah. I'll definitely try and keep that in mind.
So otherwise, it was awesome. Really good.
Okay. So, Tammy?
Sam, I thought that, or I felt that you did a really good job
Okay.
with just going little steps at a time, not really pressuring me into talking about the whole shebang about why I'm feeling anxious, just asking little questions to help me build upon the anxiety that I was feeling. It just kind of felt like a relief too when you offered me the mindfulness strategy, the technique that I could probably use. So that was good information.
Great.
I felt like you did a good job.
Thank you, Tammy. You were a fun client. So I can end the